to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, especially we pray, my Lord, you are the observer of all the objectives of the senses. Without your mercy, there is no possibility of solving the problem of doubts. The material world is just like a shadow resembling you. Indeed, one accepts this material world as real because it gives a glimpse of your existence. This is very deep tattva. Isha tattva and Shakti tattva. That Govinda knows this tattva. Because in his previous life, he was King Indradyumna. In that life, he had achieved this tattva-jnāna, but unfortunately, being cursed, he got this life of an elephant, Gajendra, but that jnana is there in him. It's never lost. So, in this life, offer such prayer, which is potent, very deep tattva, Isha tattva. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we find this thing, 15th chapter, that what is this material world? Material world is a perverted reflection of the real world or spiritual world. Urdhamūlam adhasākam asvastam prāhurabhyam chandāsi jasya parnāni jastum vedasya vedavit. First verse of 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita says this. This material world is a perverted banyan tree, upside down banyan tree, whose roots are upward, branches downward. The upside down banyan tree. Is there any such tree? Whose roots are upward and branches downward?
When it's reflected on a reservoir. When it's reflected on a reservoir of water.
No such tree is there. You understand? No such tree is there. So the roots upward and branches downward. No, so you can never find. But if you go to the bank of a river or tank, what will reservoir, and you'll see the shadow of the tree, the reflection of the tree on the water, the tree standing on its bank. It's a reflection, you notice. That reflection you'll see that roots are upward and branches down. It's upside down. That's a reflection. That's not real tree. Real tree stands on the bank. And the reflection is there. So this material world is a reflection of the real world. The real world is the spiritual world. And this material world is perverted reflection. Whatever there in that real world, all are here in this reflection, but all upside down. All upside down. One who is intelligent person, he can understand. This is a reflection of the real tree, a reflection of the real world. The real world, spiritual world, is a manifestation of the superior energy or internal energy of the Lord. And this material world is the manifestation of the material energy or illusory energy of this world. Yes, Lord. You understand? So, energy comes from the energetic. Parasa saktir vividhaiva sriyate. That supreme person has manifold energies. When we talk about energy, automatically the energetic person comes. Without energetic, how the energy will be there? You understand? You cannot separate the energy from the energetic. Inseparable. Therefore, we have this sutra. In Vedanta Sutra, in Vedic Sutra, we have Shaktir Shaktiman Abhinna. We have this sutra. Shaktir Shaktiman Abhinna. The energy and energetic are non-different. Inseparable. You cannot separate energy from the energetic. As for example, heat, you cannot separate the heat and light from the sun. You cannot separate the heat and light from the fire. You cannot separate the good order from Murga Mother. And similarly, you cannot separate the energy from the energetic. So Shakti, Shaktiman, Abhinna. The energetic and energy are not different. At the same time, is also different. The heat and light is not sun, isn't it? The heat and light is not fire. The nice saint or Arhat is not Murga Mother. That means it's inconceivable, one and different. Achintya braveda tattva. That is here also. So, when we see this material world, the manifestation of the material energy of the Lord, who is an intelligent person can understand that this is a manifestation of that energetic person or supreme person. You understand? This is a manifestation. So, one can understand the existence of the Supreme Lord. Vyadhyakana prakriti suyate sotaracharam. The prakriti, material world, energy, works under the direction, under the superintendence of that Supreme Person. Never works independently. So, an intelligent person can understand how that Supreme Person exists. In whatever manifestation, maybe the manifestation of the spiritual world or material world, intelligent person can understand the existence of the Supreme Lord. But those who are conditioned souls, they cannot understand it. You understand? Because they have forgotten Supreme Lord and forgotten their own identity. Why they have forgotten? Why have they forgotten? हाँ? जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्य दास. This is the real identity of jiva. He is eternal servant of Krishna. And why the servant will forget his master? Why? Why will he forget? Huh?
It's covered by the material energy. The influence of the material energy is covered in this.
You want to forget. You understand? Supreme Lord has granted you minor independence. When you abuse that independence, so you forget. You want to forget. When you want to forget, then the Supreme Lord gives you opportunity. All right, forget me. So you are captured by Māyā. So Māyā makes you forget. You want this thing. So life after life, you forget. Matta smriti jnānam apahanam ca. Isn't it? 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, Matta smriti jnānam apahanam ca. From me, Krishna says, Supreme Lord says, from me comes remembrance and forgetfulness. You understand? From me comes remembrance and forgetfulness. And when you want to forget Supreme Lord, so He gives you opportunity. Allah, you forget. You understand? So His Māyā Shakti acts upon you and makes you forget. When you want, you will want, no, now I will not forget and remember Krishna. Then He will give you opportunity to remember Him. That is up to you. You understand? That's up to you. So, those who are conditioned, those are captured by Māyā, they think the real as unreal and unreal as real. You understand? They think the real as unreal and unreal as real. That is the activity of Māyā. You understand? Māyā presents the real as unreal before you and unreal as real. That's Māyā's activity. You understand? Therefore, and yes, we say that the conditioned soul has 4 defects. Bhrama, pramāda, vipralipsā, karaṇāpāṭava. Isn't it? You know? Can you say?
Cheating, illusion.
And what one?
Cheating.
He said cheating.
Mistakes.
Commit mistakes. You understand? 4 defects: bhrama, pramāda, vipralipsā, karaṇāpāṭava. Karaṇāpāṭava means imperfect senses. Do you understand? Senses are imperfect. So, knowledge acquired through imperfect senses is imperfect. Do you understand? Contaminated knowledge, not pure knowledge. And the conditioned soul is very proud of his imperfect senses and knowledge acquired through them. But he has forgotten that this is not the pure knowledge. And his senses are not perfect. He doesn't know this thing. You understand? So we say this thing that those conditioned souls, they think that this sun and moon, you understand, they are the real cause of this material world, and they are everything here. You understand? The conditioned soul thinks like that, but which is not correct. This is imperfect knowledge. You understand? The real cause of all these manifestations is the Supreme Lord Krishna, Sarva Karana, is the cause of all causes. Do you understand? That the conditioned soul cannot understand. Therefore, we give this example, and acharyas also give this example, that if someone has some defective vision, cannot see clearly, he puts on specs, then he can see clearly. Do you understand? But do you think the specs can see independently? Specs cannot see independently. You understand? When it is put on eyes, it drives some Shakti, potency of the eye. Therefore it sees. You understand? And it will be independent, cannot see. Do you understand tattva, philosophy? It cannot see. Can it see? If it becomes independent? No. When it is controlled by the eye, it derives some potency from the eye, it sees. Do you understand? Similarly, this sun, this moon, this fire, this wind are all controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Hari. Do you understand? All controlled. Therefore, and thereby they get some potency, some energy from Supreme Energetic person. So they manifest some energy. If they will be independent, they cannot manifest any energy. Can they? Can they? No. Do you understand? Even they cannot exist at all if they will be independent. Can they? No. This is philosophy. This tattva. In Mundaka Upanishad, in Sweta Sutta Upanishad, we find this thing. Clearly this has been said. Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Sweta Sutta Upanishad, this is Veda. Topmost portion of the Veda is Upanishads. So it is said, Na tatra sujjavhati, na chandatarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutoyam magni, tameva bhano manubhati sarvam, tasya vasa sarva midam vibhati. Do you understand, Gopinath Prabhu? Why don't you understand? Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Sweta Sutta Upanishad, all Upanishads say this thing very clearly. Do you understand? The sun, what we say, Sabitu, in Sanskrit, the sun or moon can show you some objects here in this material world. Do you understand? Material world, which is the manifestation of the external energy of the Lord. Do you understand? But they cannot show you the real world, anything of the real world. Say, in very dark night of full moon day, in full moon day, I'm saying not full moon day, new moon day, Amavasya Tithi. In new moon day, there is no sun, moonlight. It's very dark night. And at the same time, very dark cloud has covered up the whole sky. So darkness is very great, very dense darkness. The traveler walking on the road misses his path because cannot see any light, cannot trace out the path. So sometimes there is some lightning. For a few seconds some lightning is there. So with that help of the lightning, he may see his path for a few seconds. Isn't it? Similarly, the light of the fire can dispel the darkness for some time. Do you understand? But they cannot dispel the darkness forever, for temporary period. Because every arrangement in this material world is temporary. Adyantamanta. You understand? It's Adyantamanta, which has beginning and end. This is temporary. All arrangements here in material world are temporary, not perpetual. You understand? So, the person whose heart has been illumined by the spiritual rays coming from the body of the Supreme Lord. Do you understand what I say? Spiritual rays coming from the Supreme Lord, as the spiritual sun. Krishna is spiritual sun. The rays, the light coming from that spiritual sun, whose heart is illuminated by that light, sees everything perpetual. There is no darkness. Do you understand what I say? Very subtle philosophy. So before him of this material sun, moon, and this stars, and the planets is very, very insignificant. But for a conditioned soul, these are very great here. Isn't it? For a conditioned soul, these are very great here. But the person whose heart is in the mind, by the spiritual rays coming from the spiritual sun, you understand? There is no darkness before him. And for him, all these suns, moons, planets, stars, very insignificant. Do you understand? Not only this thing, without the control of that Supreme Lord Hari, the suns, moons, stars, and planets will lose their existence. There will be no existence at all. You understand? So, we can understand that the Lord Hari and Lord Krishna is the chief cause of all the existences. All the existences of both the world, spiritual and material. Sarva karana, mukhya karana, chief cause. Do you understand? And all these planets, the sun, moon, etc., all the planets are all the obedient servants of that Supreme Lord Hari, the Supreme Controller. And they are controlled by Him. Do you understand? And they are just carrying out His orders. So they have existence here. They are deriving some potential strength from him. So they have existence. And if they will be independent, they will lose their existence. There will be no existence at all. You understand? No existence at all. So an intelligent person can understand how Supreme Lord exists. Seeing this material world, seeing this suns and moons and stars and planets, he can understand. But who is not intelligent, an intelligent person, he cannot understand this. You understand? He cannot understand this. So Govinda knows this tattva. Now, his prayer is portrayed with this tattva. You understand? Especially this verse. How Supreme Lord is existing. Thank you. Illusory not. Still here, you can also exist. Existence is there. But conditioned souls or so-called material scholars, pandits, they cannot understand this. They say this Sabitu, this sun, moon, stars, they are the cause of this material world. That everything here. They cannot understand how they exist. They exist only for the Supreme Lord Hari being controlled by Him. Otherwise, they have no existence. They will have having no existence at all if they are independent.
When you mention scholars, do you mean the Mayavadis?
Yes, Mayavad Pandits, material scholars.
But don't they say that there's something beyond it, that the effulgence, spiritual effulgence?
Yeah, they never act as spiritual effulgence. They have children on Sabit.
That's it.
That's it. Oh. And that is the cause of this material world, sun. But how the sun exists? What is the sun's existence? Without the Supreme Lord, Supreme Person, sun cannot exist. The sun or any planets or the stars having no existence at all.
So when they merge, do they merge into the sun?
No, they merge into Brahman effulgence.
I see. So that's...
But they say like this.
I see.
Yes, that is their... They cannot understand Krishna because they have not fought that illumination. Their heart is covered in darkness. This darkness. You understand? Their heart is not illumined by the spiritual rays coming from the spiritual sun. Krishna. So there is no real pure knowledge of Jnana. Their Jnana is contaminated. Pure knowledge, contaminated knowledge. There is darkness in their heart. No real illumination there. Whose heart is illumined by rays coming from the spiritual sun, Krishna. There is no darkness before him. He sees everything well. How the Supreme Person is existing. How in all manifestation he is there. Behind all manifestation, how he is there. How under his direction everything is acting. How sun is acting, moon is acting, fire is acting, wind is acting, or planets acting. Because of his. He sees it clearly, but these people cannot see it. This is, therefore, he is the cause of all causes, the chief cause. And he is everywhere existing. He is existing everywhere. It's not a fact that he is not here, not existing here.
But they can't see them.
They can see. They feel also the existence. Rather these Mayavadis say, they, in some way, they accept that supreme, powerful person is there. And he said, oh, he just divided himself, expanded himself in so many ways, forms, so now he has lost his existence. In that way they say, no existence. So he is now void, Sunya, Nirakar, no Akar, no Sunya. This is non-existence. He is not existing. That's their philosophy. You cannot see how he exists. This is very subtle thought. Very subtle philosophy, very deep. This is all well stated in this Upanishad. I quote it. So that's the Upanishad. They can understand. Without the help and mercy of that Supreme Personality Godhead from whom this pure rays are coming, illumination coming, of knowledge coming, how can they understand? They try to understand with their own merit, ascending way, so they can be same. That comes from. Do you understand? Yes. So they are in darkness. They are not in the light at all. Their heart is filled with the darkness. Moon and knowledge is darkness. Māyā is darkness. Maitogyan is darkness. No knowledge, no illumination. Tesang sattva-juktamang vadatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhijo tamjena mang prajanti. 10th chapter of Gita says, next verse says, Tesang eva anukampārtam tattva-jnāna nāsvayami atma-bhavasta jnana-dīpena bhasvata. Very clear. Gita is also Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. This is all Vedas, first portion of Vedas. They say, Krishna said, Anukampartham, those who are constantly attached to me and doing my bhajan with love, so out of mercy I dispel the darkness there in their heart and illumine Jnana Deepa, the lamp of knowledge. So, that illumination comes from him. Unless one is attached to me, how can he get it? So his heart is filled with darkness. So how can they see the existence of the Lord? They can't see. Without the illumination of that spiritual sun, how can they see the spiritual sun? They cannot get, so they can't see. You understand? This is philosophy. This is what I say. I would have said this thing, quoting no time, so I just finished. You understand me? Huh?
When they refer to Savitu, you for that word in the Gayatri Mantra, they mean the material sun.
Savitu means.
In our Vaishnava way.
Yesterday I was telling. Om Bhubaneswar tat Savitu Varnam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. The Savitu is that he is the Bhargo Deva. Dhimahi means should be meditated upon. The Gayatri Mantra. But they interpret it differently. It's not that. This sun exists because of that sun. Getting rays from that sun. Independent cannot exist. No existence at all. They will lose their existence. They can understand so-called moon scholars. They can. Because they have not got real light. How can they understand that? How can they see? That is tattva-jnāna. It's not tattva-jnāna. They don't know this tattva. You understand? That deep. In Bhagavad, you will see, you'll find all this Upanishads are there. Jeru Sutra, Jeru Vishwa Vatan, Bhagavad, Seru Shloka Divapna. We chant every day. Now this sutra, in Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Sudhasana, how it is here in Gajendra Stuti, you sense. Sense it. You understand? Yes. Because This is the last contribution of Srila Vyasdev, who has compiled all these Vedic literature. You understand? So he has put everything here. How it is. Yes. This is the comparative study. You understand? Govinda Stuti finds the Upanishad mantras are clear. Not this thing, and he offers this prayer. What I do with this lot of how can Srimad Thakur, Sridhar Swami, great commentators, how they have said like this. Otherwise, I can understand how. Brahma Sutra Bhashya. How is the commentary of Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra? You understand? Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Vedanta Sutra Bhashya. Commented. The sutras are here. Unless you know, how can you understand this? As I just speak on this. Then you can understand, yes, how it is commentary of the Vedanta Sutra, how sutras are here. How is explained here. You understand?
If the Bhagavatam is part of the Vedic literature and it establishes personalism, why is it that the Mayavadis do not accept Bhagavatam?
Mayavadis accept the Sarika Bhashya, Shankaracharya, which is imaginative tattva-jnāna, Sat Shastra. Shankaracharya has done that. Because he was ordered, Shankar, Shiva was ordered by Narayan to do this thing, to build up this case. And so he did. Taharo nahi to dosha. Mahaprabhu was said that the thing is already discussed, that thing is gone. Ajñākari Gupya. Shiva is the sort of carrying. Servant, carrying the order, master. So do that thing. Build up me. Build up this face. Covers me. Cover up me. You understand? Mahosastrani Smudaya. How they will be deluded. You compile Shastra. So he did.
So it was only meant for a certain period in history, what he taught.
At that time it was Tatkalika. At that time. The Buddhist philosophy also, Buddha's philosophy, that's Tatkalika. At that time it was necessary. At that time it was necessary. It is not now necessary. Now Mahaprabhu has come, given the real knowledge, third knowledge, not philosophy of Veda. That means Shankaracharya laid foundation stone on clean level. Just when Veda was going to be lost, Shankaracharya established it. You understand? Just presenting is Gauna Bhaga, Karma Kanda Jnana Kanda, Gauna. Bhattandas Thakur said, Vishar Bhanda. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Sogoli, Vishar Bhanda. Vaishnava says, this is a poisonous spot. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. But it is a part of the Veda. It's Gauna Pursa, not Mukhya. And it was established. Because alone and certainly you can't establish moksha. You'll go from Gauna to moksha. You understand? So he did it. Therefore Mahaprabhu accepted him as an acharya, Shankaracharya. Because he has helped me. He has helped us. Because he led the flint. So we can now build the big mansion, palace. He helped us. He established. So Mahaprabhu came and built the nice palace now. So you are in the nice palace. Why think to demolish it and again go to the flint? Such nonsense. It's foolishness. Not need. No need now. You have a nice palace now. It's already built. You understand? So Tatkalika at that time. It's not meant for this time. Let us. Our discussion. And those people, they cannot understand. Because Shankaracharya made them deluded. How they can understand? So they cannot. Oh, they speak. And they cannot understand. Their scholarship is mundane scholarship. It's made them so fogged up. Real knowledge makes one humble. Vidyang dadati vinayam. Humble, but they are perfect. That's mundane scholars. Real scholars will never make some perfect. That humble. You understand? That's the vidya, real vidya.
Sometimes it's said that impersonalists, they go to the Brahma Jyoti,
Yeah.
Brahma Lok, and sometimes it's said they take birth as trees.
Yes, when they fall down.
After they fall down, they
Yes,
take birth.
that's Ramananda Raya that it said. And Maharaj said, Thavar Joni, they take birth as trees and mountains.
They don't go immediately as trees. First they go into the Brahma Jyoti, and then they take birth as trees.
They only fall down. Like this, Thavar Joni. So degraded. That means covered consciousness. Consciousness so covered. Lowest consciousness. Thavar Joni. Such degraded. Unless they gave the mercy of Mahaprabhu, they cannot be delivered at all. Mahaprabhu has shown mercy to them.
Impersonalists, not necessarily offenders, but Mayavadis, they're offenders. They're both
And they are
offenders.
impersonalists in Mayabhasti. Mahaprabhu said, Prakruta kori amare Vishnu kare baro. Vishnu ar nahi yahar upar. That you are describing this last Chaitanya Chaitanya class. They say the body of the Supreme Lord is like the body of ours. It's the metal body. See? They are offenders, pasondis, naradas. They are such great offenders. How can they deal with it? Footwear. Pasondis, naradas, they say like this. Such great offenders. Mayavadi bhashya sunle hoy sarvana. Mayavadi Krishna aparadhi. Mahaprabhu speaks clearly. Committed great offense. Lotus feet of Krishna, Vishnu. Don't associate with them. Don't listen to them. You will be doomed. Finished.
Is there any difference between what's the difference between a Mayavadi and a Jnani, or a impersonalist and a Jnani?
Jnani is a
Jnani
Mayavadi.
means this, all three
Yeah,
are the same.
all same. Mayavadi, Jnani and impersonalist.
The four Kumaras, for example, they were impersonalists, but they weren't offenders.
So,
The four Kumaras.
for Kumaras, they become bhaktas
Yes.
by the grace of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. When they get the scent of the tulsi leaf offered at the lotus feet. That's mercy. They got. They were first, but they became devotees.
How did they get that mercy? What was the credit to get that mercy?
Supreme Lord bestows his godless mercy on them. And Sukadeva Goswami also. He was first Brahmavadi, but by the mercy of his father, Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva gave him this knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. He changed. Maharaj spoke Bhagavatam.
There's a story that Sukadeva first heard the Bhagavat being narrated by Lord Shiva to his wife Parvati.
Yeah,
correct?
And a parrot, when he was parrot. Yes. This is the capital.
Bhubaneswar.
He first heard it there, and then he took birth as Sukadeva Goswami,
Yeah.
and heard it again from Vyas.
He then regained it from the past.
So Guru, his being an impersonalist, that was just pastime? His being an impersonalist, was that just a pastime?
Who's
Sukadeva Goswami.
Sukadeva Goswami, you see, yeah, that's past time. And he got this knowledge, but not correct. You see, something edgy. You understand? Because he was in a parrot form, his consciousness is not so illuminated. So he had hard. And also that's a teaching that only this Mayavadis and personalist can come to the real path of devotional service by the mercy of the Supreme Lord or his pure devotee. Otherwise, no possibility. And that is so noble. So that. Before Maharaj they came, and so they Goswami. That's one way to achieve. This is the only way how they can. They are intelligent. They must approach such a person. Otherwise, they are so much puffed up. They think themselves to be all-knowing. They cannot do it. How can they get the mercy? That's another question. Still, Mahapurush's hours is mercy. Unless they come to the Mahapurush's board, let us speak, then not. Mahaprabhu has delivered 1 hour. His personality, even the interior space is also, but to speak of the human beings, so magnificent in meditation. Vina Gour priya pada sevam vedati tasprapya padam vidam. Gour priya pada seva. Without serving the lotus feet of the dear devotee of Lord Gauāṅnga, you cannot understand this. Tattva-jnāna. Cannot have it, cannot understand. Vedati dusprapya. By mere Vedic study you can't understand. You cannot have it. Only by mercy you can. Nothing else.
Jai.